Please welcome to the stage, Tom Ouimet.
It is the fall of 1988, about 11 a.m. on a work day, and I am 33 years old, and I'm kneeling in a Catholic church on campus. It's not that I'm a devout Catholic. I'm not even a practicing Catholic. I'm a crisis Catholic. I'm just 3 weeks into this new job as the university's health and safety officer, and I know I'm way over my head, and I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. And I need this job because my wife is pregnant and not working. My son, age 2, needs her at home, and my variable rate mortgage has spiked. I feel overwhelmed by this responsibility. I'm lost. So I pray, please, give me some direction. Show me a path forward. But my prayers are never answered. All I hear is my pager going off. It's my office. They're looking for me and didn't know to look in the church. They tell me I must meet immediately with Mr. Neal Gray, the facility manager, who I've not met. Involves my recent meeting. Oh, shit. An hour before, I'd met with some medical school faculty. They ambushed me with a document filled with health and safety facility-related concerns and demanded I take immediate action. There was a lot of yelling. The meeting was not my best. I find Mr. Gray in his office. He looks to be about twice my age, and he's holding that complaint document in his hand. And he says to me, "What are you planning to do about this?" Now, I haven't got a freaking clue. But I tell him, I'm already formulating a written response. And he says, well, you could do that, but you will surely lose the war of words that follow. Consider going to the chairman's office alone, unannounced. Meet him face to face and see if you can come to a resolution. Now, I think this is crazy. Neal has just told me, a serf, to march up to the nobleman's castle and pound on his door and demand he let me in. But I do that, and 30 minutes later, we resolve the issue. Neal can help me. So I start setting up regular meetings with Neal to review my projects. He doesn't have to do this. It's not part of his job, but he never refuses me, and I see he's generous with everyone with his time, and I ask him about it, and he says, my job is to lift people up and give them a chance. So right there, I decide I'm going to take advantage of him big time, and I start scheduling 11:30 meetings, knowing that when we're done, he'll take me to lunch or on a walk, and we can extend our conversations. And he does. And pretty soon, I'm feeling pretty comfortable in this job, and our conversations turn personal. And I begin telling about my concerns, raising my children, and maintaining a good spousal relationship, and finding some peace with my in-laws from hell. And Neal always listens really well, and then he gives me his thoughts in these personal stories about his life that always contains a simple truth applicable to mine. I come to love this man, and for 5 years I am a sponge absorbing his wisdom and his common sense approach to life. But then he retires. I cry as his retirement party, but I cry much harder just 1 year later when I hear he's entered hospice with incurable cancer and has just days to live. I want to go visit him, but I haven't contacted him for that year, and I'm embarrassed, and my mind tells me for 10 days that these moments are just too important to be squandered on me. But on day 11, at 1 a.m. in the morning, I wake up sweating with this feeling, this message from the heart that I have to get up and go now. It's now or never. But my mind is telling me, that's nuts. I don't know exactly where the hospice is. I don't know what the visiting hours. I don't know his room number, and he'll be sleeping. But my heart is relentless. Cut the shit and go. Your heart is not supposed to talk to you like that. But I get in my car and I just start driving. And when I lose my way, I see signs that lead me to the hospice. When I approach the hospice, the door's open. The night receptionist points me to the way to his room. When I approach his room, the door's open, the light is on. And when I enter, Neal is sitting up in bed talking to Mabel, his wife. And when he sees me, he says, "Look who's finally here." And then he gives me a big hug, and I sit on his bed holding his hands and tell him what a huge difference he's made in my life, and thank him for sharing so much time, his wisdom and his knowledge with me. And he says, "I wish I could have done more." We both know there's no tomorrow, but the mood is not sad. It's joyous. It's a celebration of our relationship. And in this moment of magic, I realize he was always the answer to that crisis Catholic prayer, that he has raised me up, given me a chance, made me whole. When it's time for me to go, I kiss him on the forehead and whisper Godspeed in his ear. And he squeezes my hand and says, "Enjoy the journey." Neal lapses into unconsciousness 2 days later and never recovers. But I don't cry, because I know Neal now lives in my heart, and I listen to that heart and follow its direction every day as I try to fill his shoes, raise people up, and give them a chance. Thank you.